Welcome to another episode of PLA Mind and Body Works. I'm your host and instructor, Percy Arrington Jr. And today I'd like to discuss another compound routine. Now if you remember, I did one before on the chest. Okay, compound sets for the chest. Today we're going to do compound sets for the abdominals. Alright, now I'm going to do 3 sets. Okay, altogether that's 9 sets, but it's 3 exercises back to back. So 3 by 3 is 9. I'm going to do this 3 times. Initially, I would advise you to do it twice at the most because it's going to make you sore for days. Alright, let's get to it. The only tool you're going to need, the only apparatus you're going to need is some type of an ab roller. You know, they look several different ways, but they're all pretty much this, you know, wheel with a rod through it. That's the only tool you're going to need. And I'm just going to quickly give you an overview over what we're going to do. First movement is just the ab roller here. Feet off the ground. Exhale as you come back to the starting position, which is here. Okay. You don't want to go out to full extension. That can be a little rough on the back, but you can maybe see the angle that I'm coming up with here. About there. About there is good enough. Okay, you want to try to keep your back flat or slightly arched. That's the first movement. That technically is an isometric movement. Because theoretically there's very little change in your spinal position, so that makes it not spinal flexion, makes it more isometric. The second movement will be bikes or bicycles. I'm sure many of you have done that one before. And then finally, we're going to go into dynamic planks. The word dynamic implies movement, change, or activity. So a normal plank looks like this. You just hold it. This is going to be more dynamic. So we're going to go for some spinal flexion here. Unlike with the first exercise, the position of the spine is blatantly changing. You just got to squeeze at the top. So we do all 3 of those exercises one by one. And like I said, like with all compounding, it creates a synergy between the 2 or 3, however many you're doing. All right, real time now. Remember to exhale. Particularly with this movement, because you can build up a lot of pressure in your abdominal cavity. Oh boy, oh gosh. Okay, right into the next movement. No rest, or at least as little as possible. Really squeeze at the top. Really twist from the core. These are just... Oh, I want to do a little rest pause here. Get it a few more. Now, whether you're going for development, strength, performance, endurance, this routine will have you covered in any and all capacities. Okay. All right, plank. You want to hold it for a couple seconds, and then squeeze at the top. Good. Okay, round 2. Remember not to hold your breath. Oh, shit. Okay. Right into bicycles. Oh, boy. Okay, I'll do another little rest pause here. Oh, I can barely. Okay, and now for the dynamic plank. You do want to establish that plank by holding it for a couple of seconds. No big deal, but establish that it's a plank. I'm just going to hold this before we make it dynamic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Last set. Yeah. Remember not to go out too far. It's not so good for your back when you go out too far. Okay. No rest pause. May as well do it again. Just a little more bang for the buck. Establish the plank. Then go dynamic. This is kind of like an inverted crunch. Inverted crunch. Hold on, let me do a little rest pause. Like that's it, man. That isn't too bad for a 50-year-old man who isn't even dieting, you know? I'd like to thank you for watching another episode of PLA Mind and Body Works. Now remember, as I said before, if you attempt this routine, maybe consider doing 2 circuits instead of 3 at first, unless you're pretty advanced. And remember to breathe, okay? Because due to the nature of these movements, you're already going to build up a lot of pressure in your abdominal cavity. So you don't want to hold your breath, okay? Make sure you're breathing. All right, so until next time, remember, you don't need a full-scale gym in order to remain fit. Thanks for watching.